What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Simulation Basketball Association, man. It is your boy Kamish Mula, and you know how we rocking, man. It has been a lit week 3, a very active week 3. But you know we gonna cover all of that this week, man. Hashtag Noti Gang in the chat to all of my notification members, all of my guys that pop out early. You know how we do here in the SBA. Hit that comment for me. Drop the hour league. Drop it early. I'm also gonna get this link out to the guys in the Discord. But until then, make sure you feel me. Y'all do what y'all do. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if everything is alright as well as you tuning in. Let's get this going in the chat. My guy Ash Erickson in the building. Noti Gang. Yes, sir. Ash Erickson, aka Eric Ashley. He said I'm sounding good. All right, I'm sounding good. That's great. Now let's see what's going on. Let's get this good old link out. How the link not popping up on my home? And I'm live. It's crazy. YouTube, y'all not pushing us that much. Yo, EA, you could drop that link in the chat. Drop that link in the Discord, EA, letting them know to come in the Discord. Pardon me, so we could get these game reviews going. Shout out to my guy PV. My guy PV said he's not feeling well. Feel better, my guy. Real talk. Shout out to my guy PV. My guy PV out of Croatia, but he is super committed. He is one of the most committed SBA members out there. We got a lot to cover today, chat. I ain't gonna lie. We got a lot to cover today. Got a lot to cover. A lot of good games we watched. We saw a lot unfold. A lot of teams rise. Some teams fall. Some teams stayed pretty even. But that's what the overseas tour is about, man. It's been turned up. It's definitely been turned up. It's been a movie. Let me get this link out to the Discord, and then we're going to start covering these games. And we're going to get into the spice because there's been a lot going on. I know y'all know it'd be a lot of little things going on. I know I don't be entertaining them too much in the chat, but this podcast is gonna be a little spicy, man, because I gotta put some things on notice for some guys, man. Some guys be losing me, man. We had a couple guys pull up and lose me. Shout out to my guy Pharaoh Reigns in the building. Yes, sir. My guy Pharaoh Reigns, Kennard Roden, Eddie Bowles, the franchise. Yeah, we here, man. But definitely SBA family. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into these game reviews in a few. Wanted to get that link out in the chat, but I was fumbling the link, so I had to go tell my guy EA to hold it down. Appreciate you, my guy EA. Podcast now live. Yes, sir. All right, cool. So EA handled that. And without further ado, we get into these games. So Olympia Milano, man, came into the week 5-0, came into the week 4-0, and they was playing against a 0-2 Real Madrid. I'm gonna go out and say that most of us seen them as a favorite in this game, and they really got it going. I will say that Madrid competed for the most part. Like the score was a lot more. The score looked a lot further apart than what the game looked like. The game was actually very competitive. Shout out to Roden. He was doing his thing out there, 37, 8 rebounds, and 13 assists. So Kennard Roden was doing it all out there, as you can see, just filling it up crazy on the stat sheet. Shout out to my guys in the chat, man. Let me get that hashtag our league going. Let's get that going for sure. I see Duke Spliff in the building, but yeah, man, Roden was doing his thing. Roden was locked in. He was really carrying a load for Olympia. You still got consistent play out of your starting point guard, Tyon Nickerson. Still got consistent play out of DJ Watts Jr. And also your shooter PV gives you a well-balanced dose. When PV ain't doing good on offense, he's definitely clicking on defense. It's rare that he's gonna have a bad game offensively and defensively. And that's really what you want out of those key role players on your team. And I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Olympia. Everybody really playing their role and doing their thing, man. I wasn't mad at the effort from Real Madrid in this game. However, they're just falling short, man, in these games. And the score's been close, but they got to find a way to start closing these games and start being on the winning side of things. We all know that they was able to make some moves, and we're gonna get into those moves later. But we all know that they made moves, and I'm gonna be interested to see how those moves affect what they're doing moving forward because I know a lot of these overseas teams are going to lose their talent due to the SBA draft this year, but it's interesting to see how these teams are going to fare and what position these teams could be left in during this awkward season. Because I can imagine that it's very awkward for organizations knowing that most of their players are going to want to leave and declare for the draft and that they're going to have to like pretty much settle for whatever they could settle for and whatever talent stays. So, it's going to be very interesting to see who stays and who goes and things of that nature. But this was a very good win for Olympia Milano. And this Madrid team, man, just got to find a way to put it together. We like I said, we seen them do some moves, and let's see how they can do, man. Olin had a good game in this game, but just wasn't enough. Therese McGrady wasn't really himself. We see him put up higher numbers than that, but for what it was worth, still a good effort. 17, 6 and 5 is not bad on any level. It was below average for him, but it's still not bad on a professional level. Jeremy Stone, 11.6 rebounds, 2 steals on the night as well. But all in all, this was just a good win for Milano, really controlling things. And that's what we've seen from this Milano team throughout the season, man. Then moving on, second game of the week, we have Virtus versus Partizan. This is the second of 11 games. Danny Ramsey really coming into himself, man. Danny Ramsey is becoming one of those guys that you have to pay attention to. Virtus as a team is really just sparking up, caught a charge, man, and now they really riding a hot little wave right now. Coming to this game, they were 2-1. Leaving this game 3-1. Partizan was 2-1. And they was going to leave with a loss in this one. But like I said, Danny Ramsey really just finding himself, finding his game. Shout out to my guy, Kobe Mamba. I see him just checked in. But Danny Ramsey Jr., man, really just finding himself, finding his game. 23 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. And he's really complimenting Mike Simmons and Will Washington perfectly. Like, this Virtus team is super dangerous because at the 1, 2, and 3, you got a guy capable of dropping 20 any night. So you got Will Washington Jr., you got Danny Ramsey Jr., and then you got Mike Simmons, who is all capable of dropping 20 plus on any night for Virtus. And now we're really starting to see that click. I feel like a lot of people were still filling them out early, didn't know what to expect from this team, but now we're really seeing a tough team that can put up some points and compete at a high level. So shout out to Virtus. This was a very big win. Eric Soto played well in this game for Partizan as well, but just wasn't able to get it done. 25 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists for Eric Soto. And then you had Shy Hall, 17 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists. Shy Hall playing good once again, but just not those big bursting nights that we've seen from Eric Soto and Shy Hall in the past. We've seen these guys go off for 40 early in the season. Now they kind of cooled off, still putting up good production, but just not as, bigger games as we've seen from them. And Partizan coming back to life, at 2-2, they're 500 now. But I feel like they kind of cooled off, and we're kind of really seeing what this team about, where they have holes and where they can compete at. But Daniel Glover, user for Partizan, 13 points on the night, 2 rebounds and 4 assists. But all in all, Virtus just looking dangerous, and this was the spark. This was extra spark to some of the things that we were seeing from Virtus early in the week. This is only second game of the week, as I said, but them moving on and getting their third win, that was some good momentum moving on to the game that they had, the second game that they had this week. But then moving on, third game of the week, we had Berlin versus Hopel Tel Aviv. So Berlin coming into this game was 1-1, and then we had Hopel coming into this game at 1-3. Hopel this was a Hopel's second win in a row at 2-3. Jamal Giddey with 16 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists, 84-72 on the game. And it was a well balanced effort. I feel like Jamal Giddey, JT Carter, and Wendell Fields was cold in this, but I think Jamal Giddey and JT Carter just played well, fed off each other well, and the defense of both teams were really able to slow down the shooting efforts. We know that Berlin can go crazy from the 3 point line. We've seen them kind of cold in this one. We've seen Hopel really, playing physical with them, making them earn the shots. Same thing for Berlin as well. They were competing on the defensive end, not letting Hopel Tel Aviv have anything easy. But ultimately, like I said, I think it was just the play of Giddy and JT Carter as a collective that was making it tough. The interior was points on the interior as well as on the outside for Berlin was very hard to come by. And when you got JT Carter and the backup center Carlo Keefe playing at this level, Hopeful Tel Aviv is going to be hard to beat. However, man, we all know that JT Carter was moved. He wasn't too happy with the situation with the team. He actually went to a team that was worst off in the deal. We're gonna cover that more later, but this was their second win in a row for Hopeful Tel Aviv, and I thought that they were gonna begin to turn a corner here, but seeing the changes that were made and uh the pieces that were moved with the trade of JT Carter, it's going to be interesting to see how Hopeful Tel Aviv can re-pivot and remarket themselves. I don't want to get into that too deep because we're going to talk about it later, but in this game Hopeful Tel Aviv just looked good. Jamal Giddey and JT Carter was looking a lot more comfortable with each other, and I was liking what I'm seeing. So I was surprised for things to have move and shake after a game like this, but it is was what it is. Russ Macy, 20 points, 19 rebounds, 2 blocks in a losing effort. Tough game here, but Russ Macy really been coming on strong. This guy's been doing his thing. Shout out to my guy Slicko Mo in the building. My guys is tuned in for the podcast. SBA, you know how we rocking. I'm gonna stay focused so we could get through these games real quick and then really chop it up. But just know we gonna turn up. So yeah, Jonathan Love, the veteran, 18 points, 4 rebounds. Jonathan Love been playing pretty good too, man. Berlin as a whole just looked a lot better this week, and we gonna see that as these games progress throughout the week. Don't want to spill the beans on certain things, but I was liking what I'm seeing. Christian Ross, 14 points in this one, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. So a decent effort from Alba Berlin, but Hopeful Tel Aviv, man, really just clicked and got it together in this one, and that one really, really made the difference. So moving on to the next game, it was the fourth game of 11 of the week, and it was Berlin in a back-to-back. This was day 2, and Berlin came out swinging. Another tough game against an undefeated Monaco, but Berlin got it done to go back to 500 in day 2 of week 3. 30 points for Christian Ross leading the charge, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And then, yeah, Chris Jackson with his follow-up with 21 points on his own, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Zach Gilbert, the backup point guard. Zach is truly talented. I'm telling you, teams got to keep an eye on him. A lot of you guys got to keep an eye on Zach Gilbert, man. That guy's good. But Zach Gilbert had 17 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, and then a big Russ Macy, very consistent in his approach. You've seen what he did in the last game, and then this one had 15 points, 16 rebounds, and 2 blocks, man. So Russ Macy really coming on strong, but I'm really surprised at what I'm seeing from this young Berlin team. They're getting it together, a group of young guys, and they're doing their thing. The young core that they have is beautiful. Like, I think all of these guys could go to the SBA level and contribute, and I think that they're on a pretty hot run right now. I was going to be interested to see who could cool them off or how long they could keep up this run. Also going to be interested to see how these guys will look in the playoffs when we have those series coming along, or that tough first series where it's just one and done. So it's going to be interesting to see with Berlin, man, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. At this point in the week, they were 2-2, picking up this big win against Monaco. This was actually Monaco's first loss. So sorry for the typo on this graphic saying that it was 3 losses, but it was their first loss. And TJ King Jr., 17 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. TJ King Jr. still put up a very good effort. TJ King Jr. has been very good. We haven't seen too much of Monaco, only 3 games from them, but TJ King Jr. definitely looking like a good power forward. I know a lot of scouts is watching him. We seen him hit some jump shots as well. Very strong in the paint, good rebounder as you can see, and he could play make 5 assists. So that's not bad. He showed us some ball handling ability, some playmaking ability, and shout out to TJ King Jr. Martel Poole, the sharpshooting point guard for Monaco, 16 points, 3 assists. He was 35% from the field in this one. He's really like an off guard, but he is a point guard, undersized guard, but kind of like a two. Reminds me of like an undersized two at times, because they run things through Blue Moon. But shout out to Martel Poole, still pretty much did his thing in this one. And this was a tough game, but Berlin pretty much controlled it and edged them and snuck this one against Monaco. So like I said, great effort from Berlin, man. And Berlin is starting to come, man. They really starting to put on and get things together. So Claudio Sanchez also put up a good effort against Russ Macy in this one. 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 assists. And these are the matchups that you really got to key in on, because Russ Macy, I think, is one of the top big men overseas. And when you got a guy like Claudio Sanchez, who may be kind of slept on, we haven't seen too much from him yet. I mean, Monaco, he may get overshadowed because Monaco has TJ King Jr. at power forward, who is a user guy, and Claudio Sanchez is a generic. But when you play good against one of the top centers in Russ Macy like this, in a close game, even though you come out with a loss, that's something that scouts want to pay attention to, because at a pro level, you know that he can battle with a guy like Russ Macy, and that's what you're going to need. Maybe he's not the star that Russ Macy is or brings the markability that Russ Macy does, but he's definitely going to bring, that productivity to your team, man. So definitely want to check out a lot of these guys. Shout out to my guy, Zanu Fenton in the building. 10 viewers live. I need you guys to hit that like button if you haven't already. This is the Simulation Basketball Association, and it is your boy Kamish Moolah, man. And hashtag our league. This is the family, man. SBA, we hit over 100K views on YouTube. So shout out to everybody that liked, comment, subscribed, everybody that ever engaged with our channel, man. We're going to keep going. We didn't hit monetization yet, but trust me, bro, we're going to get there soon. And when we do, we just going to keep piling on the content and keep piling it on. Follow us on Instagram at SBA.2K if you haven't already. We got a ton of series just coming along. Season 2 applications will be out soon. I'm gonna get with my staff, make that application. We're gonna go over it as a staff, and then we're gonna put that out so that way season 2 guys could join while we're finishing up the rest of season 1, and that way all of that information will be set and ready to go. So when season 2 is ready to air, we're hitting the ground running, and we don't have to make everybody at one time. Everybody will be made as we're going, finishing up this season 1. And then once we have everybody, we can restructure season 2. I may take some time before jumping right into season 2, but we definitely gonna get into it. Still a lot of things exciting about season 1. We didn't even get to the pro series of season 1 yet. We didn't have high school yet. So we still got 2 of the main series, but then we still have the combine series as well. So it's a lot of fun things, man, on the way for our league. And you just got to stay tuned and be patient. Trust me, nobody is putting in the work that we're putting in on a consistent basis for simulation basketball. Nobody. I can guarantee you. You could go around and join whatever league you want, and we not knocking that. I love the creativity. I love anybody that's putting on for the simulation community. But when it comes to basketball and the everyday effort and the everyday league feel environment, our league is where you want to be. The SBA is where you want to be, man. We're timely in our approach. We get our series done, and that's what we pride ourselves on, really getting the work done. It's not about anything else, not about you, not about this person, this guy, not even about me. It's about moving the league together as a whole. And that's just what I want all my players to really just understand, man. This is a side note. I know we still reviewing the games, but I just need guys to really understand, man. We got to move as a league. Like, everybody has a life. I give you streaming days during the season, so you know those gonna be the streaming days. Everything extra around that is like, I'm cool if you can do it, but if you can't do that on a consistent basis, don't expect me to give you energy with certain things, because I have a league to run. You know what I'm saying? So all you guys, ideas and everything is cool. Some of y'all be like, yo, I want to edit a video of this or do this and that. And that's cool, and I'm all for it. But y'all gotta remember, I got a life and I gotta keep a whole league going. So I can't stop to do rec because you want to do rec today. You feel me? I got a daughter to tend to, and then I got a league structure to keep, in the flow. So y'all guys gotta, really be conscious of that. We gonna have fun. I'm gonna do changes for y'all and I'm gonna put in the work for y'all. But y'all really gotta remember that, I'm still a human, bro. I still got a life, you feel me? So of course I want to do the fun stuff and add extra content, but I always want to make sure that the league structure is set before I'm doing anything extra. We in overseas right now. And if I got extra time during the week, besides the time with my daughter and the schedule that I gave for overseas, I just need y'all to follow what's on the overseas schedule. I need y'all to tune in and support the league and the games that's already there. Like, yes, if I have time, I'll do rec. But if I had the time, I would do it. So, it's like I'm not mad at you guys for asking, but I just need you guys to really understand. Like we working, bro. We working nonstop. I'm doing these graphics. These graphics don't come out of nowhere, even though they kind of the same, but just logos and colors and numbers and names has changed. It takes time to do all of this, bro. It takes communication with me and people that have schedules. So, we really working, man. So that was a little side note tangent, but I think it's well needed for some guys to just really hear in the community. So that way, like I'm cool with the ideas and I always shoot out the ideas. I don't want to kill it, but I don't want you guys feeling offended or ignored if I can't entertain those things because we do got a set structure. If anything, pull me to the side and be like, yo, Moolah, this is an idea. I'm thinking of this because I'm always open for that. Whether I'm in a VC, you could jump in, we could chop it up and talk about ideas all day. But as far as executing them, I got to make sure I can execute certain things within the bounds of the league. Or even if you want to help me bring something to the league, you got to be able to help me execute that thing because I got to keep the flow and the structure of what's going on. But they said Moolah to get that Bledsoe cut. Never, man. But shout out to all my guys in the chat, man. Hashtag our league. Ray Gambino, Canal Roden, Duke Spliff, aka Alvin Mack, Deshaun Evans, my guy C. Ross in the building. And yeah, man. So this was just a good effort by Berlin, man. Winning another tough game. 13 viewers live. Make sure y'all hit that like button. This is another good win for Berlin. Monaco taking a tough loss. They first loss of the season, going to 2-1. Berlin moving on to 2-2. And we're going to move on to the fifth game of the week, 5 out of 11 games. And this one saw Canarius and Anna Ephes. And this game was a classic, man. Ariel Severio and Zanu Fenton went off. Like, y'all really got to, like, go back and tune in and see everything that happened in this game. It was so much going on in this game, bro. Like, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, simulation basketball is here, and simulation basketball is here to stay. Like some of these games are really competing with NBA games. Like I'm not saying that the stars are because of course we're not as known as them, but like I could sit and watch and be entertained by these games just as much as an NBA game. And I'm telling y'all, man, this game right here was crazy. Both of these guys are two-way players. They were locking in, playing defense, getting steals left and right. And then at the same time, they were scoring, hitting each other with good moves. You got to go back and watch this game. It was unlimited highlights, unlimited scoring, unlimited everything in this game between these two. And this was a true MVP showdown, man. It was so much content coming from this game. Like I could do a whole cinematic episode between like everything that happened throughout that game, man. And these guys are at the top of the league right now. If I'm being honest, I think that their production and what they bring to their teams is just unmatched right now. And Ariel Severio, man, leading the charge for Canarias, getting this tough win over Anna Ephes. And Severio, the stat line should speak for itself. 35 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, 8 steals for Ariel Severio, and a big win here. Man, it was MVP candidate versus MVP candidate, and these guys did not disappoint. Ariel Severio edged Zanu Fenton in this one, really got the best of them, and it was also a better team effort from Canarias. So just a storybook game for Ariel Severio, man. Shout out to Ariel Severio. He really been, doing this thing, came into the league strong, locked in. And I really got to tip my hat to him, man. Active, been chopping up the highlights for his play. Really been putting in a lot of work. So, man, shout out to Ariel Severio. Also, shout out to Zanu Fenton. Both of those guys been going at it with the content and stuff as well. So, I'm loving what I'm seeing just from the community as a whole, man. We growing and flowing. We hit 100K views on our content on YouTube, like I said earlier, and we going to continue hitting them, bro. I was supposed to post a YouTube short right now, but because, we on a podcast, might have to miss today, but we really been on them shorts every day. It's been helping grow the channel, helping, a lot. So we gonna keep with the keep up with that, keep all these things going. But this was a huge game, man. OJ the Juice Man, 17 points to help Severio and Canarius, 4 rebounds, 2 steals on the night. And then Jaden Deep Blue C, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. This kid been looking good too. And Canarius just got them scrappy guards that can score. So it's hard. Like, when they got it clicking on defense and them jump shots is flowing, these guards of Canarius could really, really give you a headache, like, and give you some trouble no matter who you are. So big shout out to Jaden Blue, OJ the Juice Man, and my guy Ariel Severio, man. Them guys really putting on a show and doing something here, man. Up until at this point right here, they were 3-2. Inner Ephes was 2-4. And it was just tough. Xavier Fenton still gave it his all, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. You know what we expect from him night in, night out. A lot of points, a lot of buckets, a lot of moves, and just a high energy, high effort, high production guy in Xavier Fenton. And even though he took the loss here, man, he's still been doing his thing. Big shout out to Xavier Fenton. Jess Stewart trying to help Fenton get that win with 13 and 13 with 3 blocks, even though he just came up a bit too short. Art Bell was cooled off in this one because we know Art Bell is way more capable than 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. But also, man, still shout out to my guy Art Bell. Mangu Bamba, I believe, missed this game because of soreness to the wounds of his injuries. And he was still on a minute restriction as well. They're still trying to work him in. And coach gave him a game time decision, but wound up missing this game. You're gonna see Mangu Bamba featured later in the week as a spoiler. But big shout out to Canarius getting a win here. This was an epic game, and like I said, man, you guys definitely gonna want to watch that game. Go back and watch that game. That was a huge game. Uh, Moving on, 6th game of the week. So we're a little bit past the halfway mark from reviewing these games. But Virtus took out Milano 107-103. Michael Simmons was going crazy. This was another very good game. And this is why I'm telling y'all, simulation is here and here to stay. Because this was another classic game in which it came down to the wire. Both of these teams just was going crazy. Michael Simmons and Tyon Nickerson was at each other all night. Both of these guys with 27 points on the night, and it was just a complete just back and forth matchup to the last minute. Go and watch that game if you haven't already. I'm gonna try to get these highlights going, man. Me and Jo been putting in a lot of work, trying to see if we could, get these highlights out to y'all on somewhat of a consistent basis, or maybe we could do it, drop the highlights of each game after each season, because to do it at the same pace as the season is a bit tough. But we're gonna figure something out. I'm gonna talk to Jo and see how we could get these highlights out for each game, because this was another classic game that may take long to watch back. But if we just had the highlights of this, man, this was epic, man. But Mike Simmons and Tyon Nickerson was really just going at it. But Danny Ramsey and uh Washington Jr. was really came on strong for Virtus and helped them out a lot. Also, Dwight Wilkins. We keep seeing the same names, repeating themselves for Virtus, and this is why Virtus is going to be dangerous. Dwight Wilkins is a guy that you got to watch with rebounding. He can put it back on your head. He can posterize you on the break, so you got to watch him. But then he also can pick and pop at the 4. Then Danny Ramsey, just super versatile, young guy, but nice sized at the 3. Versatile game, could pretty much do it all. And then you got Washington, man. Washington is just a pure scorer, 3-level scorer, in and out, could dribble, very crafty, and him and Mike Simmons just play off of each other very well. This game came down to the wire. Tyon missed a clutch shot down the wire, but Tyon was definitely trying to do his thing too in this one, and he played very well, man, very well. Just couldn't get that last shot to go and couldn't bring it home for his team. Mike Simmons was able to edge him, but Tyon still played very good. DJ Watts played very good. Also, PV. Kennard Roden kind of cooled off in this game, but still was able to contribute for his team. 27.5 rebounds, 8 assists for Tyon. You can't ask for more out of the young 20-year-old point guard. The young point guard just turned 20 as well, and just super mature in his game, man. When you watch this guy play, you couldn't tell that he was only 20 years old. DJ Watts Jr., just another very consistent guy in the paint, very hard to deal with. And he really just owns the paint no matter who the competition is. It's rare that you're going to see, DJ Watts come out on the losing end of a matchup down low. And then you got PV, 14.6 rebounds, 3 assists. And when PV is hot, it's rare that this Milano team is gonna lose, because he's not the go-to guy. Very much a role player, but if PV gets it going, man, is very dangerous. This guy could score 20 points in the court in the blink of an eye. This kid could shoot it from the parking lot, and you can't sleep on party time. But it just wasn't party time in this one, as Virtus came away with the win, and Michael Simmons got the job done, man. Michael Simmons was not playing with these guys in this one. You got to go back and watch that. He was right at him, and just relentless in his approach. Shout out to Mike Simmons, man. And we're going to move on to the 7th game of the week, 7th of 11th, 7-11. Russ Macy picking up the player of the game. Alba Berlin beating FC Barcelona in very convincing fashion. It was very sad to see this happen, man. And this is beginning to spark a lot of attention around the league, man. The defending champs, Barcelona, this team is on a three-peat, and I'm not sure if it's just the lag, but they expect, their guys to be playing at a high level. They expect to be one of the best franchises year in and year out on the overseas scene. However, this year we are not seeing that. Is it time to hit the panic button for Barcelona? And once again, guys, pardon me on the graphic. There's a typo on the graphic because Barcelona is not 5-1. I should have caught that. That mean I might have posted it wrong as well. But that is wrong, guys. Oh no, I didn't post it wrong. So I mean I just loaded the wrong one for the podcast. But that 5-1 is wrong. Barcelona is actually 1-3 with this loss, and the other graphic on the side has it right. But yeah, man. Russ Macy coming away with another big win for Berlin. And it's starting to be a lot of turmoil in Barcelona. The user point guard, Jeremiah Killens, the young stud of Barcelona, was not happy with the coaching staff at all. He's not happy at just the environment. And we're going to talk more about that story later. Don't want to, once again, just spill the beans. We're going to talk more about, the surrounding circumstances of FC Barcelona. But as far as covering this game, just dismal, man. A dismal effort from Barcelona. Definitely some miscommunications there. Their stars are not playing like what they're supposed to be. And Russ Macy getting it done again, big time. 23 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks for the young big man who's really coming on strong. That's 2 in a row for Alba Berlin up until this point that we're reviewing this. And yeah, man, this team really starting to put together a beautiful stretch. Christian Ross with 25 points, 3 rebounds, and he hit 7 3-pointers in this game. He was 7 of 11 from the 3-point line. Christian Ross really coming on as one of the most dangerous shooters here in this overseas tour. You cannot leave Christian Ross open or he will make you pay, man. So shout out to that guy, Chris Ross. But Alba Berlin, man, when these young guys is clicking, they're dangerous. Chris Jackson, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. And who are you going to expect to beat how can you expect to beat a team when you got 3 of their user guys dropping 20-plus points? 20-plus points. It's going to be very hard to beat a team like that. And these young guys are producing at a very, very high level. I love what I'm seeing from Alba Berlin, loving the stretch that they're putting together, not liking this dismal effort out of FC Barcelona. We're not seeing the same Barcelona that, we've grown accustomed to seeing on the overseas, scene. So I want to see if Barcelona is going to make some changes, maybe. I don't know. Do they move somebody at this point of the season? 4 games. They're not over that 6-game mark in which they can still move somebody. But as certain teams, a lot of teams are starting to hit that mark. They can't make a deal with a team if the team already has 6 games played. So, Barcelona is running out of options, and we're going to talk more, like I said, about the headlines going on and the drama going on in Barcelona. But as far as this game, it wasn't it. 25 points for Bledsoe, 6 rebounds, 1 steal. Although Bledsoe has been scoring points, He haven't been scoring as high as a clip as we usually see, and then a lot of them has been empty stats as the team's success has not been there right now. So is it Bledsoe? Is it just the energy of the organization right now? Who knows? We'll see. Jabari Carter, 11 points, 12 rebounds, 2 steals. Pajak Tarlik, very cold game in this game. 8 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And you're definitely going to need more from him. But shout out to Berlin getting it done, taking out the old defending champs. Eighth game of 11 of the week saw CB Canarius taking another win here, and Real Madrid losing once again, going to 0-4. CB Canarias picking up their 4th win of the season. Up at this point, 99-91, 35 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals from Ariel Severio, man. Ariel Severio has just been on a tear, and you see it, man. You see this kid has been stat sheet stuffing, two-way, really as good as it gets, man. If it wasn't for most of their wins coming against like the worst teams in the league, I would definitely be more on the Severio hype train. I'm very much on his side. I know that he's definitely one of the top players in the overseas series. However, I really want to see how he's gonna fare against the top of the top, like the cream of the crop in this league. I want to see how, how the team can have success with him leading the charge. 4-2 at this point right now, and up to this point. But like I said, I wasn't really happy with the competition. I don't want to say happy. Wasn't too convinced with the competition thus far. So really ready to see how consistent he could be, and want to see him have some more big matchups against like, big time. Yeah, like I want to see him have some big games against some more big time matchups the way he did against Fenton and etc. So nothing to take away from Ariel Severio. But like I said, when you do this against an 0-4 team, I know that there's a lot of talent, but it's just some miscommunication going on right there. And I just wanna still make sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing. Don't want to be too sold yet. Don't want to be too sold yet, but OJ Alberga helping Severio in this one, 18 points, 5 rebounds. It was 4 for 9 from the 3-point line. The Juice Man, really a sharpshooter, really a marksman from the 3-point line. And I just think that, like I said, this team blends well, scrappy. Tyrone Webster is definitely another pivotal part. He's that anchor on the defense for these guys. He's that, presence down low, 10 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists on the night for Tyrone Webster, the big man of CB Canarius. And then you had Jaden Deep Blue C, cooled off in this game, but playmate at a high level, 9, 2, and 8 for the young point guard. And I'm not mad. Games like this, when Canarius comes away with a win, I'm not mad seeing my young point guard lead the charge from a playmaking standpoint. So this is a good performance by Jaden Blue, in my opinion, because I want my young guy to get my guys going and just secure the victory. And that's what he did in this one. So everything really not about the numbers, guys. Don't get too caught up in the numbers, man. I watch things for what it is based off the situation and the eye test. You're not gonna get 30 every day. You're not gonna hit every three. But in a game like this, Jaden Blue, like I said, took a step back from a shooting perspective and led the team in another way as far as playmaking. And I like the team came away with the win, 4-2. Didn't get shocked by an team without a victory. They got through. And big shout out to Severio, shout out to OJ, the Juice Man, and shout out to my guy Jaden Blue once again, picking up another victory in this week up until this point. Now moving on to the ninth game. Yeah, I didn't cover the users in that one, but we good on that one. Now, ninth game of the week, SBA Select versus Virtus saw the Select winning by 10. And this was another good game, but the Select got it done and handled business. And y'all know I'm happy about that. Me being the GM of the Select and the commissioner here in the SBA, man. I took these guys on the overseas tour to play against some of the best teams overseas, and we better get it done, man. We got to bring in some of that capital to take back for our own league back home, where we got some of the best athletes in the simulation world. So, got to secure the bag with my Select guys. and they did it. Duke Spliff was a man on a mission in this game. 28 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists on the night for Duke Spliff. Hashtag roll another one. You know how we do. My guy Duke, though, doing this thing. Shout out to Duke, man, helping us get this win. I was so happy about this because it was a tightly contested game. You know, Mike and O was scaring me. I be trying to keep face because I don't care if y'all think I'm biased, man. I want my team to win. I want the select to win. I ain't a cheater. So that's not what I do. My integrity on the line. Some of y'all know y'all been around me for years. I don't play like that. Sim is what I do. And I don't care if y'all think I'm being biased. Yes, I want my guys to win. I'm going to be happy when my guys win during the overseas tour. It is what it is, man. You know, implement a game plan. If you got a team, if you on a team, implement a game plan. Stack some users up, come overseas and take us out. But if you not willing to stack a team up, go overseas and take us out, I don't want to hear you crying because we 4-0 and I'm talking my talk. I'm hype. Yeah. Other teams overseas, other users get at us. We 4-1 right now and we coming strong. I seen what worked with my guys and I think we on to something. So yeah, overseas, it's time. We talking. Y'all better get in the lab overseas. Y'all better figure out something. Get on y'all 2K games. Y'all got 2K, just like I got 2K. Get on 2K, work out a game plan with your team, move the sliders, and figure something out because we coming. We coming. Just know that. But nah, back to it, man. Duke did his thing, 28, 8, and 4. Couldn't ask for more. Roll another one. You know how we rocking. Then I got my guy Eddie Bowles, 25, 5, and 4. He told me he wanted to switch up the tendencies. I was a little hesitant, but I let him do what he do, and he came through. I'm rhyming over here. I'm low key spitting balls for y'all, like low key. You feel me? This ain't a song though. This ain't a song though. You feel me? But Eddie Bowles, 25, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. D'Angelo Fox, the backup shooting guard, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists off the bench. And then my guy Art Blackman, backup point guard, 11 points, 3 rebounds, and was 3 for 4 from the 3-point line. Very efficient. So you see them bench mob came in, helped us get it done. And that's what I like to see. My 2 young guards, those are the young guys that I need to keep. I don't want those young guys to declare. Art Blackman and D'Angelo Fox, I want them young CPU guys to stay with me and I could develop them because I know I might lose Duke and I know I might lose Eddie B, but they've been complimenting them very well coming off the bench, and I think I could turn them into some nice little starters, man, when these guys leave. So, you know, I got my eye on J.O., a couple of college guys as well that I might try to convince to come overseas before joining the SBA draft, but you never know, man, that SBA is a monster. They gonna be taking everybody, offering that big money. The young guys gonna want to go there, but I'm gonna try to still get some guys that I think need more development to come overseas with the SBA select before going to the SBA draft. And J.O. one of them guys that I'm watching. So J.O., man, you know, in my line, come do a year overseas, man, to show these guys what's up. You do your second year in college, then come overseas with the select. We gonna take care of you, man. We gonna make you that number one option. We gonna show these guys that you could be a number one option in the pro setting, man. So J.O., pop out after your Kentucky season. You don't gotta rush to the SBA. I got you. But this was also a good game for Virtus, man. Only down 10 in this one, only losing by 10 in this one. And it was a close matchup, man. Danny Ramsey, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. And Danny Ramsey is an animal, man. When this guy got it going and he's playing aggressive and he's being tough, he's very, very hard to stop. And he had me scared a couple times, but we was able to stick it through. Mike Simmons, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists, and we know Mike is a monster. This is what we know from the young street baller, Mike Simmons, man. We know that this kid is a monster. This kid is very crafty. Jump shot is just elite. His IQ is very high. And big shout out to my guy, Mike Simmons, man. He does what he do. And definitely had me scared, a little bit nervous in this game, but we was able to pull through. Shout out to the Dwight Wilkins, 14.6 rebounds and 1 block. And as you can see, man, some of these familiar guys popping up in the box scores with the top guys, man. Start paying attention because these AI guys, these generic guys is coming too, and they're going to take spots from some users. Some generic guys are just going to take spots from users. You got to think, if a guy playing middle of the pack overseas and he's a generic, and then you got a middle of the pack user, maybe some organizations and coaches are going to go with the user because the user got more potential and could grow with SC. But if the user ain't really getting SC and the user is all right, then They gonna go with the generic guy that they could really build off of and do something with. So make sure y'all lock in. Make sure y'all stacking that SC as well, man. That SC gonna be important. Maybe if y'all sleep now because y'all so good. A lot of guys maybe sleep now because y'all good in the intro series. But when overseas is over and we get y'all in that draft combine and y'all get drafted, y'all gonna be brought back to reality. Some of y'all gonna be mad, like, yo, how my player? What's going on? Because it's gonna be a grind. We put these players on the SBA level, them overalls is coming to a reality. The top guy may be a 84, 85. I'm telling y'all. Top guy may be a 85, 84. Everybody else that's coming in and young and all that, y'all gonna be 70s. This is when y'all career really start. You gotta earn everything. So sleep if you want, man. Get that SC and get right. Don't sleep. I gave y'all so much time from the college series all the way to now. So many games, so much rec. Y'all should be balling. Can't say, y'all can't say I didn't have opportunities. So I'm telling y'all, man, stack that SC, man. Do y'all thing. And moving on to the 10th game of the week, it saw Anna Efes come away with a win against Hopewell Tel Aviv. And this was the first game that saw Therese McGrady on Hopewell Tel Aviv after the trade. We're going to get into more details of the trade later, but it was actually a competitive game. Therese McGrady definitely looked like he was trying to find his foot and find his flow with the team. But as far as their usual guys go, it went well. Wendell Fields took a lot of ill-advised shots. I want to see him tone those numbers down. We know that he's very aggressive. I felt like he was trying to impose his will out there with the shots, really trying to maybe prove to the organization still with them going to get Therese McGrady, who is a big time scorer, highly productive guy. I think Wendell Fields was trying to still let the organization know, like, I'm gonna get my shots. I'm gonna take my shots. It just wasn't really working out for him. Therese McGrady, kind of decent, dismal night for him as well, but Giddy played very well in this game. And then on the winning side, you had Art Bell, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 3 for 6. Very efficient night. Mangu Bamba played great, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. So stat sheet stuffing for Mangu Bamba. And then you had Sheldon Reynolds, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 for 3. So you see a very efficient night from some of the top guys on Anna Efes. And then you had Mr. MVP candidate himself. He's been leading the charge for the MVP all season. 42 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. And this is why, man, he's that guy. Because when you're putting up this much production and it's just so consistent, and like, you're giving your team a chance to win night in and night out. Big games, a lot of competition, some of the top matchups, and you're still getting it done. This is how you make a name for yourself. And Zane Fenton really made a name for himself. A lot of guys didn't really know who he was coming into the season, but that definitely has changed. And shout out to Zane Fenton and Anna F is getting this win, guys. Man, they moved on to 3-4 at this point. Hopewell Tel Aviv moved to 2-4 after picking up that loss right there. Moving on to the last game of the week. We saw Alba Berlin continue that super scorching hot streak, winning 84-69 over CB Canarias. So they slowed CB Canarias down, but then they kept their streak going. And CB Canaris is now 4-3, where Alba Berlin would have been 4-3 if they lost this game. So just a great effort. And who other than Russ Macy again picking up the player of the game, 20 points, 22 rebounds, 2 blocks. And that's a huge game. That's what you want to see from your stars in huge games where they have big matchups as well, because Russ Macy had his hands full with Tyrone Webster, who's also been playing well, but Russ just showing you its levels, man. Jonathan Love, the veteran, helping him out as well. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists for Jonathan Love. Christian Ross, 17 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 of 10 from the three-point line, knocking down 5 3-pointers. So 15 points alone from the three-point line, and an efficient effort from Christian Ross, who's really starting to separate himself as one of the better, if not the best shooter in the overseas series as of now. And then you got Zach Gilbert, backup point guard, but this kid is just super good, man. This kid is just just elite. Like you just gotta watch Zach Gilbert play. If him and if Christian Jackson isn't hot, Zach Gilbert is definitely gonna come in and do it for you, and then vice versa. If Zach Gilbert is off, then Christian Jackson is gonna start off setting the tone. It's very rare that those guys go cold together. And then you got the veteran Jonathan Love mixed in with Christian Ross and Russ Macy. Oh my God, Berlin may be a very big problem for guys. And the core is so young outside of Jonathan Love being that real veteran presence. But let's see if these guys can rally around them and make something special happen, man. This was a big win to pick up here because we know that CB Canarius competes. But CB Canarius picking up another tough loss. And this is what I mean. CB Canarius has beat the bottom teams. They've dealt with the bottom teams, but against tough teams or teams that's on a hot streak, CB Canarius has kind of been faltering, and that's been my only red flag with CB Canarius thus far, man. I want to see them close it against top competition. They're going to be going against some top teams in the coming weeks, so they can definitely shut me up and prove me wrong, but that remains to be seen. And this was a good game, man. Jaden Blue picked it up. 6 3-pointers in this one. 6 of 10 from the three-point line. 26.6 rebounds from Jaden Deep Blue C. And then you got Ariel Severio with 21.7 rebounds, 4 assists in this one. Cooled off from the 30-point streaks. He was just going off 35, 35. And then OJ the Juice Man with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in that matchup, cooling off as well. The chat going. We still got 8 viewers live. I need you guys to hit that like button if you haven't already. It's your boy Kamish Moolah. We just finished reviewing them games, and now we're gonna go into the power rankings and conference standings, man. Now let's really open up the floor and let's start chopping it up about what's going on, guys. What's up? Let's go. Wake up. We done reviewing the games. Let's look at these teams now and let's see what's really going on in this overseas tour. You got Olympia Milano at number 1 of the week 3 power rankings, 5-1. Gotta go with Milano at 5-1, man. They 5-1. Well-oiled machine. Outside of that tough loss we seen them take from Virtus, I'm really sold on this team. I think that they are the real deal, and I think 10 times out of 10 they're gonna give a team a lot of trouble. With the playoffs being series after the first round, I think that Olympia Milano is also going to, be hard to beat in a series. Like, how many teams are going to be able to beat them more times than they beat them in a series? Like, that's going to be very, very hard to do for any team come the postseason. And that's kind of what I take into account and I try to think about when I'm doing these power rankings as well. And if I'm being real, man, I'm gonna definitely go with Olympia Milano at number 1. So that's who I'm rocking with at number 1 of my power rankings. Give me you guys power rankings as well. But at number 2, we got the Select. Last week, the Select was number 3, and this week they are number 2. Shout out to my guys working their way up slowly but surely, man. I'm telling you, we coming. 4-1. So we only really one game behind Milano. And even if things hasn't been as smooth, like I think right now Milano did pass the eye test a little further than we did. I think right now they look a little more as a cohesive unit, but we not far behind. We starting to get it together with each week. And you gotta pay attention to the Select team. We getting it together with each week. I think some of the bench guys is waking up, starting to put together a consistent effort. And I think the Select gonna be dangerous, man. I'm telling you. And this is perfect timing. Just hit an hour and we really halfway through the content now. So appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Like I said, hit that like button if you haven't already. Follow us on IG at SBA.2K. A lot coming, man. The overseas tour, man. We almost midway through. Season almost over. We about to hit week 4. All-Star weekend, I think, is the weekend of week 5 or 6. And then week 7 is the last week before the tournament. So we really moving this thing along, doing what we do, and I appreciate y'all for rocking, man. This thing has been definitely fun to call, fun to see unfold, and we moving along sturdy, man. But at number 3, we got Virtus. Virtus was number 5 last week, so they're on an uptrend, 4-2, and this was a big week for Virtus, man. I think Michael Simmons, Danny Ramsey, and company really made a big run this week into letting us know that they're here and that they're gonna compete and that they're gonna beat some teams. Like, they're capable of almost beating anybody. I think Virtus has convinced us of that this week. In week 3, I think Virtus is really settled in, and now we know, like, coming into any game with the star power that they got and the unit that they have, they can beat anyone. I think that is very safe to say that as far as Virtus goes as a team. And I think that they're very deserving of this number 3 spot on our power rankings. So I had to throw them over Berlin, who came in at number 4. Berlin was at number 10 last week. And this is what should show you that, 1 week could really change the course of this series, of any series, because Virtus was, Berlin, pardon me. Berlin was number 10 last week. They played 3 games this week. They played 4 games this week, went 3-1, and now we see them at number 4 on a power ranking. So that is a huge jump. That is a huge jump for Berlin. And they on a super hot, win streak right now. And they're just trying to ride that streak. And it's gonna be interesting to see how long they can keep that going, man, under the likes of those young guys, man. Russ Macy really leading the charge alongside Chris Ross, Chris Jackson, and Zach Gilbert. And I like what I seen from Alba Berlin, man. Really coming on strong. Jonathan Love, the veteran. And I like this unit, man. I like a lot of these teams. Like, a lot of these teams is put together really well. So always fun to watch with this overseas tour, man. It's been very unpredictable, but it's just been very fun as well. Even though it's unpredictable, it's been really fun to follow and see unfold. So um yeah, coming in at number 5, we got Monaco. Monaco's on a bit of a downturn. They did lose 1 game this week, but they haven't played too many games yet. So with only 3 games being played, with most teams playing more games than Monaco, they're back at a stage for me where they have some things to prove. We seen a small, sample size of Monaco, and I think that they have some things to prove at this point now. When I look at it, we haven't seen a lot of them. We've seen them win against the Select, and we've seen them play the Select and somebody else. Can't put my finger on it. I think it was Bayern, and one of those teams is really good, and one of those teams is not. So that's why I said it's still some questions to answer for Monaco. And then they lost to Berlin, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, still got some question marks for Monaco. And we're gonna see, how they fare moving forward. But as of right now, they were just at number 2, took 1 loss. And that 1 loss, moving them, that 1 loss added a lot to when you have to factor in that they only played 3 games compared to teams that played more games than them and got more wins. So, they had to drop below. They dropped to 5, but they can still have a good week next week and be right back in the top 3, if not top 2. So, shout out to Monaco, and let's see what you got, man. Definitely right back in that proven stage. Next week, y'all got a chance to, prove yourselves and string some wins together. I know y'all probably got back-to-backs all next week. So y'all probably play on every game day, if not 3 out of the 4. So shout out to Monaco. Let's string something together and let's see what happens. CB Canarius at number 6. They stayed at number 6. They was number 6 last week. They are 4-3, and they picked up a win and picked up a loss as well. They were 1-1. So I elected to keep them there. And yeah, that's just where it was. They stayed at number 6. Didn't want to put them over Monaco just because the fact that Monaco lost 1 game, and didn't really play too many games. I didn't want to do that. Pardon me 1 second, guys. Yeah, didn't want to hold on, wait, mama. I'm on the podcast. So yeah, didn't want to put them over Monaco because Monaco didn't play enough games. But also, can you move the in there? Yeah. And then NF is coming at number 7, and they stayed the same as well, picking up 1 win and 1 loss as well, I believe. Yeah, I believe they won 1 game this week and 1 loss. So just kept them at 6 and 7. Still above that 8, that 8 line that gets to the cutoff. But I think both of these teams really are scrappy and could beat anybody above them. But as of right now, I can't put them over the teams above them because of what the teams that are above them are doing at the moment. Like I said, Monaco is the only questionable team above Anna Efes and Canarius right now. We know Canarius and Anna Efes has 2 of the best players in the league. But from the surrounding cast and the things, the way that the season have shaped, they haven't been able to really rise the charts. So how crazy is that to see that number 6 and number 7 is really where the two of the best players in the league are. That shows you that these team efforts are really creeping through. The Select and Olympia may be the two uh best cohesive teams, and they are 1 and 2, opposed to the teams that got two of the best looking players. So, everything really balancing and shaping form here in the overseas series, and it's very interesting to see. Coming in at number 8, we have Partizan, and Partizan 4 games in, 2-2 at 500. They was high early on based off what we seen from them. But now another team with just some question marks. They're on a downtrend right now. They took a loss. They were 2-1. They lost 1 game this week. So now they're at 2-2. And Partizan at number 8. They really right there at the cutoff, man, for that postseason right there. And I think they are a postseason team, but the way that things are drawn right now, they won 2 tough games, lost 2 now. And let's see if they can string some things together to get themselves, back in the middle range of this power ranking. So shout out to Partizan as well, man. Shout out to the users over there putting in the work, but just gotta see what's up, man. Gotta string something together, really string together some type of, camaraderie and some type of streak to get this thing going. Barcelona coming in at number 9. They were number 8 last week, so they dropped 1 spot and they lost 1 game at 1-3. And Barcelona's a lot going on, man. A lot of turmoil over there. User guys not happy with the veterans. Bledsoe just not playing to the quality that they want him to play to, and just miscommunications, man. That team is super talented, but they have not been able to turn it into wins, and that's gonna be a problem, man. That's gonna be a problem. That's not what they expect, and I'm not sure if you hit that panic button yet, but 4 games in an 11-game season, you got to start turning it around early, or you're gonna be on the outside of things when the postseason come. And I know that that's not what Barcelona wants, especially when you got a chance to capitalize off of. You just won 3 rings. You could try to get that 4-peat going, or give yourself a shot for that 4-peat by getting to the postseason. But right now, it's not looking good for Barcelona, and it's really gonna take a lot to turn them around. But if anybody could do it, I know that they could. Let's see if they make any moves though before then, because we know it's been a lot of turmoil in their organization. But let's see if they're gonna make some moves. That's what's gonna be interesting to see. As of this right now, let's look. While we're looking at the ratings, who can Barcelona still trade with? All teams with 5 or less games. All the teams with 5 or less games are still eligible to make a trade with Barcelona. That's Monaco, Partizan. Yeah, Monaco and Partizan. As of now, Monaco and Partizan is the only teams that Barcelona would be able to move. Oh, and FC Bayern, because they're 0-4. So Monaco, Partizan, and Bayern is the only teams that Barcelona can pull from the disposal and try to see if they can make a trade or a deal with, to try to get some talent to switch things up if they wanted to. We're gonna talk into more details of what's going on in Barcelona as we go, but right now Barcelona at number 9, 1-3 on the season, and those are the teams that they're still eligible to make moves with if that's the direction that they were choosing to go. Hopeful Tel Aviv stays sturdy at number 10, 2-4 now. They did pick up 2 wins this week to get to 2-4, but I'm gonna keep them steady at 10. Still a lot more to prove to me, I feel, before they can move up on the list. And they got a tough schedule coming up, man. They're gonna be playing against some tough teams. So just gonna have to stick it through, and let's see if they could come out. If they could come out on the winning side of this week, I can guarantee you they're gonna move up the charts. So yeah, man, big shout out to Hopeful Tel Aviv moving up. Well, not moving up, they didn't move up. They stayed straight. I mean, they stayed solid, but they was able to win some games and put some wins together, man. Now they got Therese McGrady, and let's see if him, Jamal Gideon, Wendell Fields can make something happen, man. Caldwell's over there as well. Caldwell's a good stretch big, and I think he's gonna be able to do some things. But we talk about that later. From the conference standpoint, we got Olympia in the select leading the charge at number 1. We got Berlin and Virtus leading the charge at number 2 for their conferences. Then at number 3, we got Monaco and Canarias. Number 4, we got Partizan and Anna Ephes. Number 5, we have Hopel Tel Aviv and FC Barcelona. And then number 6, we got the 2 winless teams of Real Madrid and FC Bayern. So that's the conference wrap up as well. And both conferences looking pretty good. I think the stronger conference right now, in my opinion, would maybe be, I don't know. Talent wise, if I'm going talent wise, I think the stronger conference is definitely on the Eastern European Conference. I think that's the right side with the select. I think that conference has the most talent. Not to sleep on the other side, but Sanu Fenton, Duke Spliff, Mike Simmons, TJ King Jr., Blue Moon, Jamarcus Brown, Bloody Bledsoe, Jabari Carter. That's tough. Tyrone Atkins, that's tough on that side. But the other side does got Tyon, Chris Ross, Chris Jack, DJ Watts, BV, Severio, Shy Hall, Eric Soto, Giddy, JT Carter, Wendell Fields. So it's like both these conferences got a lot of talent. I'm not gonna hold you. Both of these conferences got a lot of talent. I need y'all to comment who y'all think got the stronger conference. Is the left or the right? Is it the right side is the Eastern European Conference and the left side is the Western European Conference? So who do y'all got? Russ Macy, yes, he's on the Western. Yeah. Russ Macy's on the Western European Conference because he's on Berlin. His team is number 2 on the left side. And yeah, man, I'm telling you, this is tough. This is tough right here. So everybody's saying right side strong. Yeah, right side very strong, man. Right side very strong. But of course, the guys on the right side are gonna say that. So we got a bit of a battle in the chat going on. PV says left. But PV plays on the left. So like I said, guys are gonna pick their sides. But that's our conference wrap up. That's the standings. This is the power rankings as well. And appreciate you guys for rocking with us, man. An hour and 7 minutes in. We still got some things to cover. So don't go nowhere. We still got some things to cover. Still got a lot to cover. So do not go nowhere. Shout out to my guy Olin Shaw. He said he's busy at work, but he's definitely stopping by to show support. Hashtag our league. You know how we rocking. Big shout out to my guy Olin. Let me get a hashtag stats for my guy Olin in the chat, man. We do the stats manually because 2K fouls don't be saving and don't be letting you end the game or save out. So shout out to Olin, man, getting the stats manually and providing that for us so we could do so many things with graphics and just have a file where we could go back and look at our stats during the season. So that is possible because of Olin, and we just gonna show him love, guys. Appreciate the community, man. Definitely a good group of mature guys. We see some immature things going on, but for the most part, I think we got a nice community and a nice set of guys that understand what's going on. And even if they confused about certain things with the league, I feel like they trust me enough to, let me rock and keep it going. And they'll communicate with me if anything goes too far that they don't understand or they feel uncomfortable by something going on. But for the most part, I think we got a good community. And I think that we've been flowing. So let's keep doing what we do. And let's keep building, man. This was the power rankings of week 3 and the conference standings. But let's move on to the league leaders. Starting off with the rebounds per game through week 3, February 5th. We got Jabari Carter leading the charge for FC Barcelona, 18.5 rebounds per game. And like I said, man, it's like Bledsoe and Jabari has been getting decent numbers, but it just haven't been turned around into it hasn't just been coming in a winning effort, man. So that's just something that I'm worried about and something that I don't like that I've seen from them thus far. But hopefully they could turn things around and we could just see a better effort out of them guys. Hold on, guys. Let me wipe my nose. I'm over here just sniffing up and pardon me. But yeah, so it just hasn't been coming in a winning effort for them. But Jabari Carter has been getting his numbers. So has Bledsoe at times. But it's just been empty stats with them, not really winning games. But shout out to Jabari Carter, still producing at a high level, still doing what he needs to do and being that workhorse for FC Barcelona. And then we got Russ Macy at number 2 with 16.1 rebounds per game. TJ King Jr. at number 3 with 15. Tyrone Webster at number 4 with 14. And then DJ Watts at number 5 with 13.6. And that list right there is jam-packed. All of those guys super talented and some of the just top bigs in the overseas tour. Jabari Carter, of course, the undersized guy on that list, and he's number 1. That's a surprise. Jabari Carter is a 6'8" power forward / center, but he's been running a 5, and he's leading the league in rebounds. So, size definitely don't matter, man. Heart over height. And then we got Russ Macy, who's really just been coming on strong for Alba Berlin, really playing well. Russ Macy, 16.1 rebounds per game. And Russ Macy has been just doing his thing, man, all season long. And Berlin is looking good. And I think Russ Macy has really been leading the charge, becoming that lead guy for Berlin. We know we got those guards, those young guards, them shooters. But I think Russ Macy is really the guy who's carrying the load for them on both ends of the floor and then just on the interior, giving them that presence. And he also shoots threes as well. So can't sleep on Russ Macy. He's been doing his thing. TJ King Jr., such a small sample size, only 3 games, but with 15 rebounds in 3 games, if you average 15, definitely a dog. Shout out to TJ King Jr. Tyrone Webster, generic for CBC, but Tyrone Webster, very tough. He gives everybody a run for their money. Has really a tough time with the best of the best. We seen Russ Macy give him a game, but Tyrone Webster is definitely one of those guys who's gonna strap up, play tough, hard-nosed basketball against whoever his matchup is, night in and night out, and that's what we seen from him. So big shout out to Tyrone Webster, and then DJ Watts, the user for Olympia Milano, coming in at number 5, 13.6, and DJ Watts just a beast down there. We know him more for his just soft touch and great footwork. As this guy can score with the best of them in the post, he is the best post scorer, I would say. I'm gonna bet my money and say that DJ Watts Jr. is the best post scorer in the overseas tour, and he still could bang down low with you though. He still could get physical. He got the touch and the footwork, but don't sleep on his physicality. And as you can see, coming in at number 5, got to be a physical guy to be top 5 on this list in the overseas setting. And DJ Watts is doing that. So big shout out to DJ Watts, making this list. And then assists per game, we got Tyon Nickerson leading the charge at 7.5 for Milano. Milano got 2 guys right here in top 5s of their respective lists. So Milano doing something right. But yeah, you got Milano here at number 1, Tyon Nickerson. And Tyon, man, a young guy, just turned 20 years old. But like I said, the poise and the leadership that he's taking on for this Olympia Milano team is just second to none. He's kind of a bit of a head case as far as a user. He talks his trash and he plays around with the media, gets the media riled up at times, but on the court, man, the maturity is there, the productivity is there, and I just want to keep seeing this kid continue to play at a high level. The SBA teams would definitely be ringing down his line if he could continue this effort. Not too far from Tyon, missing by 0.2. We got the small forward Blue Moon for the Roca team, Monaco, and yeah, man. Blue Moon. I say it all the time during the games. He's really the quarterback and the point guard of that team, and we've seen that on display this season, man. So many times, and as you can see, it's showing up in the numbers as well. As he's second in the league in assists at the small forward position for Monaco Roca. So big shout out to Blue Moon, one of the best playmakers in the league, coming in at number 2. Then you got Jamal Giddey, the shooting guard, at number 3 for Hopel Tel Aviv. 7.1 assists And Jamal Giddey just super good as a playmaker. He plays the two, and if he's not knocking down a three-pointer, he's definitely diming one of his teammates or throwing a beautiful outlet pass on a break. The kid got I'm not sure if he has break started, but from what I see in the games, man, he just delivers that ball, pass it up quick, always keep his head up, and it's showing up in the numbers. 7.1 assists for Jamal Giddey coming in at number 3. And then at number 4, we got Mr. 5'9 himself, Shy Hall, showing once again heart over height, and he's coming in at number 4 with 7 assists here. And Shy Hall been doing this thing for Partisan Nice, man. Definitely a playmaker when that shot isn't falling or when the defense frustrates him, with the height and it's hard for him to score. He definitely can rely on his playmaking ability. And shout out to Shy Hall making this list at number 4. At number 5, we got Mike Simmons. Mama, there goes Mike. That guy's a beast, man. Coming in at number 5. And boy, he's tough because he could score it and then he can also play make, and that's what makes him so dangerous. But when his team needs him, he can pull through with both. And Mike, man, got that street ball background, serving them dimes and busting them moves, man. I know I told y'all, man, I got balls. I've been hanging out with the balls all podcast long. Shout out to the guys that's still rocking in the chat. Let me get a hashtag OT1, man. Let me get a hashtag OT1. All my guys in the chat, hit that like button if you haven't already. 12 viewers live, rocking with us an hour and 15 through. The podcast just been flowing, man. I be getting on here by myself, and I really be locking in. SBA. This is for y'all. You heard? I made all these graphics. Me and J.O. tag team these graphics. Then I had to go and put them in the Google Slides so they could pop up real clean on the podcast for y'all. And we flowing through, man. We flowing through. Blocks per game. Who other than Russ Macy once again leading the charge with 3 blocks per game. Following him, we got JT Carter, the young big man, Baby Diesel, 2.8 blocks. And with the wingspan of that man-child, JT Carter, you know what's going to happen. But Russ Macy leading the charge. And Russ Macy, one of them guys, I'm telling you. Russ Macy, low-key MVP candidate, man. I'm telling you right now, Berlin wind up taking the top 2 spot. Then Russ Macy definitely in that MVP standing, man. He remind me of like a Dirk mixed with like a Jokic, man. He's definitely in the lineage of one of them big time games on the 7-footer, man. One of the best players in the overseas series, and he leading the charge in categories. He's showing y'all. Users what's up. So shout out to Russ Macy doing his thing. Then Tyrone Webster right there at number 3, 2.8, right under JT Carter. We talked about Tyrone Webster. That dude's a dog. As you can see, man, 2.8 blocks. That's a dog. Like I said, if you ain't the best of the best, Tyrone Webster go get you the business. And then Jabari Carter right behind him at number 4, 2.5 blocks for Jabari Carter. So undersized big at 6'8", but heart over height. The effort is there in 2.5 blocks. As through 3 weeks, 2.5 blocks for a 6'8" center. That's tough, man. I show you the effort there. And Jabari really be locking in. Some guys in the league said that he reminds them of Kenneth Fareed. I was weak at that, but can't knock the comparison when you think about the effort of both guys. Then we got Tyrone Atkins at number 5 with 2.25 blocks per game. And Tyrone Atkins, man, another one of those guys. He's a power forward and he's a scorer, man. Really just a high effort guy because he has to carry for Bayer so much. But Tyrone Atkins, man, another one of those forward bigs that's I'd say one of the best scorers in the league, one of the best players in the league, period. And overseas is stacked with talent, man. Shout out to the bigs on this list, getting it done, doing their thing. Man, from 1 to 5, that's a lot of talent right there. From 1 to 5, that's a lot of talent that teams got to watch and try to cultivate on this next level for the SBA, man. The bigs is deep. Yeah, I was saying the guards is deep, but I'm telling you, the bigs is deep as well. And then for the side of the steals, man, we got Ariel Severio at number 1, 3.1 steals a game. That is insane. 3.1 steals a game for my guy, Ariel Severio. And Ariel Severio, the Cookie Monster, we call him the Cookie Monster for a reason. And he leading the league in cookies, 3.1 per game. Xanu Fenton right behind him at 2.2. And that's why these guys are MVP candidates. Not only are they 1 and 2 on the scoring list, these guys are 1 and 2 on the steals list as well. So I'm telling you, I got them them two-way builds this year with the way we frame things was it. Because these guys are overseas as well, so their game was gonna be a little bit elevated. And then they went with the two-way builds. And then Zanu Fenton went with the custom tendencies. And then you got Ariel Severio went with that AI DNA. So you knew he was gonna have dog in him. I told y'all be cautious with y'all builds. And look, these dudes is showing. They showing improving, man. Two-way builds on display. And not only is these guys competing for the points per game through week 3, they're competing for steals per game as well. Shout out to my guy Ariel Severio and Zanu Fenton, man. The top 2 right now in the league for the MVP race, man, and deservedly so. As you can see, man, they leading that charge, doing their thing. Moving on. Points per game. Last category we'll do for stat leaders. And I would, being that Zanu Fenton was at number 1, I just figured I'd show you guys last week's and this week's right next to each other. So Zanu Fenton dropped by 0.2, but still leading the charge with 33 points a game. Therese McGrady dropped from 2 to number 3 because Ariel Severio came and took that spot at number 2, averaging 26.1 points per game. Then Therese McGrady, like I said, dropping to number 3, 24.4 points per game after averaging 28 after week 2. Then you got JT Carter, who drops to number 4 as well, but stays on the list, averaging 24 points per game. He's missing that half a point per game that he had last week, but still a great effort from the young big man who was on Hopeful last week. But as you can see, him and Therese McGrady making that swap. He is now on Real Madrid, and he's averaging 24 points per game. So they're getting a pretty good scorer after losing a pretty good scorer. But let's see how the cohesion works for both teams with their new guys being welcome to their home. Therese McGrady played 1 game for Hope already in a losing effort, only scoring 11 points. But, still early. It was a competitive game. Let's see if he can turn it around and get a little bit more comfortable in his approach, man. So, next up on the list, yeah. But like I said, man, Zanu Fenton and Ariel Severio, for them two to be the top 2 in steals and also points, that is big, guys. That is big. You can't sleep on that type of effort. And I definitely got to tip my hat to those guys, man. Made some very, very good builds. And yeah, big shout out to those guys, man. Player of the week, guys, go to Russ Macy through 3 games this week. 4 games this week. Pardon me, guys. They was actually 3-1. Wait, let me make sure that I'm correct. Okay, yeah, they played 4 games this week. So, yeah, that's why the edge came for Russ Macy as well, because even though Severio and Fenton put up big numbers, his team was 3-1 on the week, and he averaged 19.5 points per game, 18 rebounds per game, and 2.5 blocks per game. That is monstrous numbers for Russ Macy. And yeah, man, like I said, man, Zanu Fenton and Severio did average a lot more in the points category, but they did it in less games. And just when you having nights like this consistently and you're on a team that's not expected to do what they're doing, man, you got to tip your hat to the big Russ Macy. And that's why he earned Player of the Week for Alba Berlin tonight, man. Shout out to Russ Macy, Player of the Week, really earned it. He's a generic here, but man, had to give it to him, man. Had to. I'd be trying to find ways to really just give things to users. But looking at it, I'm like, man, this is big for Russ Story. He's leading the charge for this young team. I don't want to take this away from him. And shout out to Russ Macy, man. 20-18 in 4 games this week. That is a very consistent effort, especially to do that in a winning effort. To average 2018 with 2.5 blocks through 4 games, and you go 3-1 with a team that many didn't expect to, you know, be able to do things like that against certain teams. Gotta tip my hat to Russ Macy. Big Russ Macy definitely doing his thing, and he earns the Player of the Week honors. Shout out to Russ Macy, man, bringing it home for Alba Berlin. Next up, man, this is where we get into the headlines. And this segment we're going to call Blaming Bledsoe. So, Blaming Bledsoe, man, headlines of the week coming after we figured out that there's some turmoil going on in FC Barcelona. This is Bledsoe's resume in the overseas tour. So this is me giving you a backstory on Bledsoe before, like, of course, we know this is overseas tour 1. However, this is the backstory on Barcelona and Bledsoe before the SBA was brought in for the overseas tour. So Floyd Bledsoe, 8 seasons with FC Barcelona, averaged 28 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists per game for his 8-season career with FC Barcelona. He won 4 championships with them. They're currently on a 3-peat, so this could be the 4-peat if they win this year. But he has already won 4 rings with FC Barcelona overseas. That's why he was saying that this is his farewell tour in the overseas. It was time for him to go to the SBA. He's 28 years old. Well, he will be 28 years old by the time the SBA season starts. He's done amazing things on the overseas level, 4 championships, 3 on the current 3-peat right now, 5 MVPs overseas, 5 scoring titles overseas, and 7 overseas all-star appearances. So Bledsoe definitely has a huge resume when it comes to overseas out there. He's loved by the overseas fans. And yeah, man, just not his year right now. And half the organization is torn. And we're gonna get more deeper into the details, but this is Bledsoe's resume. So put some respect on Bledsoe's name. Until I see y'all doing this at a professional level, whether it's overseas or SBA, until y'all putting up these type of numbers and have this type of resume, y'all better put some respect on my guy Bledsoe's name, man. I know a lot of guys have been gunning for him, been talking a lot of trash about, oh, he ain't been looking right, but he has a resume. Y'all gotta prove something. He's done it at a high level. Whether he goes to the SBA and he's a bust or not, he has done it at a professional level for 8 seasons. You guys, this is your first professional season. Some of you guys talking trash are in SBA college right now or high school. So you guys got to cut it out. Put some respect on my guy Bledsoe's name. Bledsoe is a shooting guard generic in our league for the FC Barcelona. He's one of the SBA. We're gonna find a name for like our special CPU guys, our generic guys. We're gonna find like a name. I know they call it prime players in the PFL. I forgot what they call it in the RFL, but we're gonna find a name for our top generics, man. Let me get some ideas in the chat for what we're gonna start calling our generics in this game. I know they call it prime players in the PFL, and then what did they call it in the RFL? They call it something. I forgot, but anyway, we definitely gotta figure out something. And then here it goes. Here goes Barcelona's user point guard. Let the young guys eat. Maya X Bari, unleash them. And this is Jeremiah Killens, who had some altercations with Bledsoe this season, showing his frustration with the veteran. And Jeremiah Killens is a young stud for FC Barcelona, starting point guard. Very big point guard. Nice size 6'7" guy, 230 pounds. So he's huge, almost like a small forward. But he's a very capable guy, man. And I think he's the future of Barcelona if they could get him to stick around and not go to the SBA draft. But they're gonna have trouble keeping them around if they keep Bledsoe around. And that's what we're going to talk about. Our sources report that the general manager of FC Barcelona has been handling a situation between Jeremiah Killens and Floyd Bledsoe that has gotten pretty ugly. Our sources report that not only has it split the organization in half, but it also has teammates and staff members picking sides. The conflict in Barcelona is that half of the organization feels that in Floyd's final season, him and his representatives have been more focused on the money and not in the best interest of the organization's future. However, the other half of the organization isn't as bothered by the losses and are still caught in the allure of how the big names can benefit them business wise. So, a lot going on in Barcelona right now, based off that report, and based off what's been going on. That I have the inside scoop as the commissioner. Pretty much, we know Bledsoe got the big contract from Barcelona and said that he was going to the SBA, but we know that this team was on the three-peat. So, from Bledsoe's camp point of view, they came back for the last season to try to end with the four-peat. However, a lot of people in the organization feel that they really didn't care about the four-peat. They just wanted to get the biggest payout before leaving to the SBA. And Jeremiah Killins, man, he's a new young guard. He's the future of Barcelona if Bledsoe is to leave. And Bledsoe said he's leaving, and Jeremiah is not feeling the attitude of Bledsoe. He's not feeling the high energy and the garbage empty stats. He's not feeling that Bledsoe is really controlling the touches right now on the floor. He's not happy that coach is putting giving a game plan towards Bledsoe and that Bledsoe's getting a lackadaisical effort. And it's really starting to take a toll on this team, man. So Jeremiah Killins did not say he wants to leave. However, he did say he's not happy with Bledsoe being on his team. He did not speak about it in the rumor mill. This is a situation that has just been brewing, man. Reporters have told us that Floyd Bledsoe and Jerry haven't been seeing eye to eye since the very beginning, but now the problem has become even more toxic as it has spread around the entire organization. Many said that it starts with Jerry and Bledsoe being at two totally different points of views in their career, which now is putting the organization in a tough situation. Because Jerry Killen signed a 2-year, $2.5 million deal with the team straight out of high school. And his hopes was that he can win a championship and develop his game on the next level. And then on the other hand, you got Bledsoe, who is here, and he's older than Killins. He's proved his worth to the organization, and he really, this season doesn't matter. He has a resume overseas. Jerry is trying to come and prove himself, so he cares so much about this season. But then you got a guy like Bledsoe, who's a veteran who really doesn't care, and of course that can cause a rift when your team is 1-3. And I'm not sure if it's time to hit the panic button and make moves as a team by moving these guys. However, it's just gonna be interesting to see unfold. Like we went over and seen what options they do have to trade with. All they have is Partisan, Bayern. It's not too many teams that's under that 5-game under that 6-game barrier for trade. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they do make a move to try to make a push. I think Madrid still has some openings. So and you never know, man. You still got Padrag Tarlik over there. You still got Bledsoe. So you still got a lot of talent. You got Albert Berry. You got Damian Young or Damian. Yeah, was it Damian Young? Yeah, it's Damian Young because Lowe is on Partizan. So yeah, man. So like I said, man, it's just very interesting to see how this situation in Barcelona is gonna unfold. Um, you got Jeremiah Killins, man, just really speaking out, not happy with just the attitude of Bledsoe. He don't really feel like Bledsoe is showing up. And then half the organization feels like no matter how the season goes, they should send Bledsoe and Jabari off the proper way for doing what they did for them. And I understand that thinking. I understand sending the guys off for what they did. They got you, rings. They got you 4 rings in total, and y'all on the three-peat right now because of these guys. So I understand not being too hard on them, but if you're Jeremiah Killins, where your career is on the line, you're a young guy trying to prove yourself out of high school in this professional setting. I can understand why you don't want to be losing games or why you can't afford to be playing in the shadow of a guy who doesn't have anything to prove. Like that's very tough to do when you're a young guard coming in and you have everything to prove, but you have to play under a guy who has nothing to prove and no interest to win. And I'm not saying that Floyd Bledsoe has no interest to win, but that is the reports that is coming out of the other side of Barcelona, who is not happy with Floyd Bledsoe. So, um, man, it's just a tough situation going on. And then you got your young stud guard who feels like your legend, the guard who's a legend, who the city is embraced, is not embracing him. We would have wanted Floyd Bledsoe to come and mentor the young Jeremiah Killings. However, that has not been the case. And other teammates have shown frustration about that as well. We got some side saying that Bledsoe has just been uninterested with some of the young guys, not really helping them out or mentoring them in a way that they thought that he would when they gave him the big contract for the final year. So like I said, this is really splitting up the organization, man. And this is a pending story that you guys are going to watch, man. Don't be surprised if we get news that Bledsoe has been traded or something. I mean, that would be very surprising to me. But do you panic at 1-3? I'm asking you guys in the chat. Let me know, because Bledsoe is still a marketability. So you're always gonna have eyes watching. You're always gonna sell tickets as long as he's in that game. Him and Jabari Carter, just FC Barcelona, man. We know how big of an organization they are, whether it's football, basketball, and you know, do you panic at 1-3, guys in the chat? Talk to me. Do you panic at 1-3? We got Slicko Mo saying not as the champions. So Slick is saying not as the champions, you don't panic. He thinks that you stick to your guns, you stick to what is won you 3 rings in a row. And you try to get your four-peat. You don't make any moves. You hold strong as an organization and you get your four-peat. So you can't be mad at that approach. Definitely can't be mad at that approach. Slick saying not as the champs. And salute that. I definitely salute that. PV says maybe. PV say maybe. And I think the only way that you panic is if you really convinced that Bledsoe is shaving games. I think if you really convinced that he's uninterested and he don't care, that's when you make changes. However, um if anybody could turn around the season, who other than the champs? So I'm never gonna advise the champs to break up their team. They're on a three-peat right now with Bledsoe and Jabari. Why would you separate Bledsoe and Jabari? I don't believe in giving any other team a chance like that. You send one of those guys over there, you break up this team and send some talent elsewhere. It may lead to, deeper things. And I'm just not sure how that fares. So like I said, nobody's came and requested any trades yet. This is just a situation that has caught wind of the media, and that my reporters have been sending me as the commissioner. So I'm definitely gonna be keeping my eye on it, and you guys keep your eye on the pending news regarding Barcelona. So we're gonna move on to the Tyrese McGrady drama, guys. And there's been so much drama regarding Tyrese McGrady. This guy has been speeding on the highway, got into an accident, was avoided injuries with that, but just has a lot going on with his storyline. And there's been a lot of drama regarding Tyrese McGrady. But let's get into this report. Our sources report that that Madrid is looking forward to moving Tyrese McGrady as soon as possible. Inside sources have said he makes everything about himself, and he has been at odds with staff members and teammates multiple times throughout the season. When speaking to Coach Nunn, he was quick to dismiss the discussion, stating he's gone. Win or lose, this is not how Madrid players will carry themselves under our staff's regime. I wish him the best wherever we can find a deal. So Coach Nunn was very dismissive. He was done with Tyrese McGrady days before the trade. Coach Nunn was just letting me know that Tyrese McGrady has been a headache in the locker room. He's already let the organization know, and that they would be moving forward and trying to move him. They were sad because Tyrese McGrady was highly productive. He was the leading scorer of their team. They were trying to, find ways to work it out and see if they can win. But Tyrese McGrady was making public statements We even found out Therese McGrady was behind a media channel called Best Kept Secret, where he would interview himself and teammates at times, itching for stories out of people to try to sway his way. So yeah, man, it was just a lot going on with Therese McGrady, with the Therese McGrady drama. And it was just tough, man, to watch unfold, man. Therese McGrady really was a productive player. I just think he got caught up in the media stuff too much. And that's what I don't want from guys here in the SBA. You can move with the media and be as creative as you want. However, if you get too caught up into your storyline and you realistically back yourself into a hole, that's on you. If you requesting trades because of it being convenient for your storyline as a player, us as a league has to keep going. We cannot move based off you guys' storylines. I don't have time to make your trade demands super spectacular and super, appealing to the whole league. I don't have time for that, guys. We got a league to run. So it's just like real life. You request a trade. Once it's out there to the media, it's out there. It picks up legs of its own, and you can't do nothing about it. He requested a trade. He had the headlights and the media all over him from day one, and I don't know what to do with guys like that. Um, I don't know, man. He left the Discord server, and the Therese McGrady drama, man, is just crazy. I had this segment written before he even left the server. So it's just crazy that the drama continues with him leaving the server. Like I said, he also had a media channel. So he was trying to do things to already sway the media. And I'm not minding players having media channels. Even if you're biased to your player, I don't mind it because it is what it is, If other guys are upset that you got a media channel, they got to get in their bag and create media on their own. I'm not going to get mad at anybody for making media. Express yourself how you want. However, if you making media stories, you can't be mad that nobody is engaging with your media stories if you're a player making media about your player all the time. Also, with consistency brings the crowd. You can't be mad at me as a commissioner that guys aren't supporting your news channel. I can't force guys to support your news channel. I can't force guys to like your content. I can't even force guys to like the league content. All I can do is get in the lab, create more content, and hope that you guys enjoy it and hope that you guys engage with it. Um, I feel like this is the second time that we've had a guy come in with a media channel trying to put so much media and storyline into their player, and then they get burnt out and caught up into that so much that when they're not happy with the feedback, they start lashing out on the league, and then they want to leave and stuff like that. So I'm kind of a no nonsense guy. I got a life, I got a girl, I got a family, bro. I don't trip when y'all get mad over little stuff like this, or that y'all not getting the engagement that y'all want, or that y'all not getting enough attention from other league members. It's like, bro, we all grown, we got our own lives to live. We're never just gonna put all eyes on you. We have a whole league, and we all have our own point of view to put out for this league. Even me, when I do my media stories, I'm putting out my point of view as a commissioner and as a media source for the league, as a viewer of the league. Like, I'm not going in and caring too much about what each of you do as an individual. you know like, I'm not one of those guys who gonna come and pay attention to your life and everything, every graphic that you do. Yes, I appreciate you because it's in the setting of our league, but I cannot focus on just solely your character or your storyline. I take what I can, make the headlines where I can, but anybody who think it's favoritism, anybody who think it's anything of that going on, that's on you, bro. That's on you. I'm grown. I don't know y'all. I don't know none of y'all in real life. You get what I'm saying? I know a few of y'all in real life, and even the few that know me in real life is like, bro, like, I don't see you every day. I got a child, I got business to handle. I'm not cheating in no sim league for no other grown men, bro. You feel me? I got morals, I got values. I'm not gonna just pamper you. You feel me? Not in no sim league setting. I don't pamper my daughter half the time. When she crying for no reason, I get on her. So, I can't afford to just be listening to you guys cry or, get mad and leave and all that because y'all upset that y'all not getting the engagement y'all want out of a league. Sorry, guys. Speak to some of the league members, conversate with them, hit them in the DMs or create with them, ask them to collab with you on a creation or something. I cannot get these guys to be a friend, you know? Like, sure, everybody's welcoming. We a welcoming community. We've been very friendly to everybody as well. We supported his work. We liked Best Kept Secret. I shared it on the page. I don't know how much more I could do for certain guys. And I just want you guys to know, like, it's not that deep to me. Like, when I see y'all content and stuff, it's like, yo, great. I appreciate it. Let's keep the league moving. But I can't stop the league and be like, oh, everybody, look at what this person presented. Like, I'm sorry. Then if y'all feel like I do that for certain other people, maybe it's just at the time I like this, or this person is putting in work on a consistent basis, and I appreciate that. But anything outside of that, I don't think we should be fighting for nobody attention in here. We all grown, and if we not all grown, we all men. And if we all not men, then we still should not be, feeding for one person attention in here or feeding for everybody's attention, man. We here to put in the work. We here to create a great league and win games if you're a competitor. Um, we here to grow, man. Like, it ain't about just you and what you got going on, man. So um yeah. If you want attention from the media team, get their attention with your game. Get their attention by creating something worth them talking about. Catch their eye with graphics or whatever type of work you put in with your player to where they want to be like, yo, I want to interview this guy. But I won't force media guys to interview guys. Like, I'm not doing that, bro. Like, that's not what we about. We doing everything in a realistic manner. We running this league as like a digital NBA. We trying to compete with the NBA. And the NBA they interview who they want. You know what I'm saying? Skip Bayless, we don't tell Skip Bayless who to have on his show. We don't tell Stephen A who to have on his show. He gives us who's gonna be on his show based off the work that person put in or the relationship he has with that person. And you guys have to understand that it's the same way in a sim league, bro. It's the same way. Network, get in tune with people. If you cannot do that, that's your fault, bro. That's the problem that you got to deal with. So I'm just gonna let you guys know that come to me with help. Come to me for help. Come to me if you're uncomfortable, but you can't come to me and say, "Hey, I want all of these guys' attention. I want these guys to pay attention to me. Why are they not paying attention to me?" Because I'm gonna look at you like you crazy, and I'm gonna be like, "What, bro? Like, I don't know what to say. Like, if they not engaging with your content, let's keep working. Like, keep putting the work in. I can't force people to watch you, bro. Like, I can't force people to watch me. I only can put in the work as a league and do what I got to do to get your guys' attention for the time that I have it for. And while I got y'all attention, y'all know me. We gonna get to it. We gonna turn up. Uh, my daughter in the back yelling and stuff. Pardon me, guys, but like I said, man, look, I got a podcast for y'all right now. Been running for 2 hours, and I got a baby to deal with as well. So, definitely can't help y'all get the attention of other people, man. And the McGrady drama continues, man. So, the McGrady drama continues. We saw a big trade between Real Madrid and Hopu Tel Aviv that saw JT Carter and Lucas Toscano move to Real Madrid for Hopu Tel Aviv received Therese McGrady and Cole Caldwell. I think this was a win-win for both teams. Hopu Tel Aviv still gets a very good big man in Cole Caldwell. Cole Caldwell can stretch the floor. So they really added two shooters, and now Hopu Tel Aviv is like a perimeter-centric team that can light it up. When you got Therese McGrady lined up with uh Wendell Fields, you got Wendell Fields, Therese McGrady, and Cole Caldwell now. And that's gonna be dangerous, man. And Jamal Giddey, that's all shooters, bro. That's a lot of scoring, and the teams is gonna have trouble with them. So, you guys gotta watch it, man. Watch out for Hopu Tel Aviv. Don't sleep on them. I know they took that loss, but I think if this team could get it clicking, it's gonna get going, man. And JT Carter, just wanted to change the scenery. Can't be mad at him. I thought him and Giddy was starting to gel. So when he asked for the trade, I was surprised. But he went to a team that is a lot worse his team was winning. At least his team had some wins. Now he went to a team with no wins, and he's gonna have to figure something out. They do have some good users and a good core. They also have a good active coach. So maybe he just wanted a different environment, but it's gonna be a tall task for Real Madrid to turn things around. But now that they have JT Carter, let's see if they can turn things around and get it going, man. Um, Tariq McGrady, we still gonna use the generic. I might switch the name. I might switch the name and might switch the gear a little bit, but for the most part, whenever you guys do this and leave, I'm not going back on my work and on my storylines about changing stuff, man. We're gonna keep you as a generic and we're gonna keep rocking. You're gonna hate from outside the club because you ain't gonna be able to get in no more. And that it is what it is, man. Unless guys come to me and apologize and give me clear reasons for why they do little stuff like this, we ain't letting you in. I'm grown, man. I don't got no time for it, so we gonna move on. But we'll take the player though. Appreciate you for the dope player. Appreciate you for the little storyline while it lasted. But Therese McGrady on Hopeful Tel Aviv right now, and I still wish the player the best. Still wish him the best still in real life as well. But the show must go on, man. Let me get a hashtag SBA and let me get a hashtag the show must go on, man, because the show must go on. Yo, you guys are hilarious in the chat. I see guys talking in the chat. Guys talking in the chat, guys laughing. But yeah, man, hashtag show must go on, hashtag SBA. I know how we rocking. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And at a minute and 50, I believe that is all the topics here that we had today. Yeah, 20 slides through. So those are 20 slides, man, through, and we covered everything in less than 2 hours. Yeah, less than 2 hours. We covered everything. And I did the show by myself once again, man. I want to have some guests start pulling up, but I've been happy that I've been able to thug the show out on my own and keep the crowd. I kept the crowd. Hopefully I'm not boring y'all by just talking for 2 hours straight. It's I'm gonna try to get highlights on here at times, but guys, it's only one of me, man. We trying to get some staff help, trying to get the staff going, but I understand that people got a life, and I don't try to force nobody to, do something for something that I truly believe in. It's something that I created. I love all the help that I could get. I appreciate all the help from all of you guys. I appreciate you guys just showing up and being a part of this, man. So shout out to everybody that's just a part of the SBA and helping our league grow, whether you're a player, coach, media guy, whether you just here to just show love, whether you just tune in and just watch our content, man. I truly appreciate it. It's your boy Kamish Moolah, and you know how we rocking. Let me get some questions in the chat. Do you want to drop some questions for the last? I'll keep going till 2 hours exactly. So we'll keep it going to 2 hours. Ask me some questions. I could also jump in the file and show you guys some stats for some other teams. I could show you some player stats. If it's a player that you're interested in and you want to see his stats, I could jump into Discord and share the screen and jump into player stats. I could go to team stats as well. So let me know what you got, what you want when you want to see. Well, let me know if you got any questions, man. Here go Jo with the trolling of when high school starting. High school guys, relax, man. High school is gonna start up soon. Jo trolling with that one, but we gonna start up soon. I'm showing you guys my backdrop. That's ghetto. That's ghetto. Showing you guys my backdrop pins. But when this high school starting, I'm screenshotting that. Definitely getting that Jo. But Zanny, you probably missed it. Russ Macy was the player of the week this week. Big Russ Macy for Alba Berlin. Let me get that on the screen for you if you missed it. Russ Macy was player of the week. That was the question from my guy Zanati, aka Zanu Fenton. Yeah, you put up some tough numbers, man, but I ain't gonna lie, Fenton, man. These numbers was crazy, and his team was 3-1 on the week. So because y'all only played 2 games, because you did have crazy numbers, but y'all only played 2 games. Severio kind of edged you. y'all was top three. It was you, him, and Severio. Severio edged you because Severio played 3 games, and his stats was kind of below yours, but slightly, even though he still had crazy numbers. And then Russ Macy edged both of y'all because he played 4 games, won 3 of the 4, and then put up numbers like this. So that was how he got Player of the Week. And Russ did that thing, did his thing, man, did his thing. So big shout out to him. And then OT1, let's do it. Matter of fact, since I got y'all here with 5 minutes left, who in the chat is Grayson in the chat? Grayson, if you in the chat, can we get a poll going right now? Can we get a poll going live? If we can't do it, Grayson, is cool. If you don't write back in the chat in the next 5 minutes, it's cool. Well, I mean, in the next minute, it's cool. But I wanted to know if we get a live poll going. I was gonna give you the point guards to put in the poll, and we could just start with point guards and have everybody vote on them, and whoever get the most votes, that'll be the first. Like we'll do the first 2 guys. That'll be the first 2 guys that'll get the all-star bid. I'm only gonna leave you guys votes as 5. So whoever's number 1 on the list get 5 points, and then we'll go down from there in the top 5 order. Anybody outside of the top 5 will get 0 points. Anybody who's last at number 5 will get whoever has the 5 most votes will get 1 point, and then my vote counts as 5. So you basically add 5 to wherever they fall at, that's what it'll be. So Grayson is gone. He's not here. He can't make the poll, but we'll get a poll going, guys. We'll get a poll going. We'll get a poll going. I'm trying to see if there's any more questions and stuff, or see what you guys want to talk about. But as far as All-Star Weekend goes, we're gonna get a poll going for each position, and we're gonna take the top 5. The guy who has the top 5 votes, the top 5 guys, I will then pick, and they get added 5 points based off who I pick for the position. The top 2 guys, we'll go down like that. So we're gonna have those polls going live for the overseas tour all-star game. So pay attention to polls, guys. I will at everyone just to keep it going, but I'm gonna put 10 names in the polls, 10 point guards in the polls, and I need you guys to pick. Of the top 5, the top 4 will be starters. You get what I'm saying? The highest guys being the starters. Top 4 will be starters, and then outside of the top 4, that 5th guy, the rest will start to become reserves, and we'll work it like that. So remember, my vote will be 5. So I'll the guys that I have on my list will come with an automatic 5 points, and then the guys that you vote for at the top of the list, the number 1 guy that you guys vote for would come with 5 points as well. And then the number 2 guy will have 4, number 3 will have 3, number 2 will have 2, number 1 will have 1 point, and that's how it will go. Or opposite, number 5 will have 1 point, the number 4 guy, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much how we're gonna do the All-Star Weekend. We're gonna try to do 3-pointers, dunk contests as well. For the All-Star Weekend, we're gonna definitely try to do 3-point and All-Star Weekend if I can. If I can do 3-point and All-Star Weekend, I will do it. But y'all gotta remember, the user guys are not always the guys that get picked for All-Star Weekend. So through the 2K file, even though I can try to get more user guys to participate, I can't get them to participate. If I can't force the user guys to participate, do y'all still want to see a dunk contest and 3-point contest from generic guys that may be like bench guys? Like, they will still be guys in the foul on the teams, but they may be bench guys that y'all don't know. Do y'all still want to see a dunk contest and 3-point contest from bench guys y'all don't know? Let me know. Let me know. All right. I'm not sure when the magazine for I'm not sure when the Mark Williamson magazine is dropping. You guys gotta ask him that. I don't have anything to do with the magazine. That's really a Mark thing. So hit up Grayson and ask him when that magazine is dropping. I believe he said he was doing it bi-weekly. Did he drop one last week? And if he didn't drop one last week, it was supposed to drop this week. But like I said, guys, I don't know. And I don't know. These media guys be inconsistent with their stuff sometimes. So if it ain't directly coming from me, I wouldn't trust these media guys until they show some consistency. They are not showing consistency right now, so I don't know. I would ask the media guys, man. Those guys are consistent one week and then they're not. They consistent one day and then they're not. So ask the media guys, but they ain't been on top of their job. I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm not trying to be on nobody. I don't care whether they could be media guys or not. We gonna still have the show going, but I'm just saying they ain't been consistent. So y'all gotta ask them what they got going on. Tell these media guys to get on their job, man. They fake media guys. They ain't y'all see me, right? I'm putting out the content every day. If the media guys ain't putting out the content every day, y'all call them out. Y'all or don't engage with their content. They'll learn. Um, they ain't been doing their job, man. That's on them. So as far as the media guys, ask them. I don't know, man. But I see guys still saying that they would definitely like to see an all-star game. I mean a 3-point contest and a dunk contest regardless. So I still may do that. I still may add that to y'all all-star game. Why not? Still would add that to y'all all-star game for sure. So Grayson said it should be out Friday. But we'll see. Like I said, they be consistent 1 second, then they're not. I understand that real life goes on, but like I said, I'm posting my content every day. Overseas tour, I haven't taken a day off yet. So the schedule that I gave was the schedule that I followed. I've been following the games. I've been getting the content out. I've been posting on the Instagram, posting on the YouTube every day. I'm doing my part as a commish. Certain guys got to do their part, man. Hit that like button if you haven't already. We 2 hours in. I'm still gonna take some questions or chat it up with you guys. If it's anything else y'all want to chat about, feel free to put it below in the chat. All-star polls will be going out this week, so pay attention to the all-star polls. Also, the high school combine will be the same week as the high school combine will be starting no later than the end of the overseas regular season. So I'm trying to start the high school combine before then, but we will definitely be starting the high school combine before the overseas playoffs. So the high school season will be starting before the overseas playoffs, guys. You guys can guarantee that. And I saw some guys ask about the combine series. The combine series will be ran in the background of the high school series. So say that overseas ends, say overseas tournament starts, and then we begin the high school series. They will be rocking out together while the overseas playoffs is playing. Now overseas ends, high school is rocking out the regular season. I'll be dropping combine content at the same time as us going through the high school season. So while Zeke is calling high school games, I will have combine content rolling out. I will have combine games rolling out maybe twice a week. I will have combine shoot arounds. I will have pro days. So you're gonna see a lot more individual player videos, and you're gonna see a lot more cinematic player videos during the combine series. You're gonna see guys taking 10 shots. You're gonna see actual combines. So here in the SBA, you're gonna actually see guys go through their combine. So the combine series is gonna be fire, guys. It's gonna be my first opportunity to really breathe and give you guys some creative cinematic work. All of the combine and pro days will be cinematic, like meaning it's not gonna just be me open recording and you watching these guys shoot around. You will get some voiceover of their combine where I'm explaining how their combine is going. You will see them sprint doing cone drills. I'm making this combine experience a true combine experience. Like, it's gonna be a series for a reason, because we're gonna go in depth into these characters. We're gonna interview these guys, see where their minds are at, see where their goals lie in the SBA. We're gonna really go through some real stuff, man. Like, we're gonna give these guys interviews with teams. I'm gonna, during the combine series, I will be releasing profiles for each pro team, so you guys will know what each pro team is looking for. Before you get to the combine series, you would know who the pro team's GM is, you will know who the pro team's coach is, and you will know what the pro team is looking for out of their players. I'm gonna create that profile for each team during the overseas series. So whenever I'm asking you questions as a team, you would know, you would kind of be able to understand the approach that I'm coming with. So we're gonna get into roles even more with this combine series. I will be contacting you as a representative of each SBA team. I'm not going with user coaches this year in the SBA. If Coach Nunn or like somebody else, one of the overseas coaches right now, if they surprise me and they show me that they could be on it consistently, I will bring them. But as of right now, I'm going with CPU owners, and I'm gonna create the characteristics. So I may have like a New York team where their characteristics is going for defensive guys. They want a defensive team, and they're in a big market, so they want a guy with high marketability. So I'm going to give characteristics to the teams like that and make this a fun experience. I'm going to have one team that want this characteristics, one team that's high flashy, want shooters, want scorers, want high flyers, want young guys with high marketability. I'm going to make characteristics of each team and what they're looking for, and that's how we're going to shape the CPU teams to play. So I think that's the funnest way to make it random but still have some personality, because I don't want our CPU guys to feel, I don't want our guys to feel like, oh, I get drafted to a CPU team and it's going to be boring. No, you're going to be on a CPU team with users, and the CPU team is going to be tailored to a certain play style. So that way the users around you have a cohesion and the generics around you have a cohesion in their play. And I will be communicating with you guys. User guys can give me game plan for the SBA season. User guys can suggest things. If you're a star of a user team, you can suggest, yo, can we give this guy more minutes? Yo, can this happen? I will open the floor for that. I will allow players to make team pages for their user teams if they want to, and they will be consistent with it. And we just got a lot of fun stuff coming with the SBA season. The combine series will be when we introduce this style of, having ownership and characteristics of each team. Each team will have their own characteristics. Like I said, think of it like 2K, how you got Vipers being shooters, you got what was it? The Rough Riders was the defensive guys, and the Ballers were like the playmakers. That's what we're doing for the SBA season. I'm going to have owners that are going to have things that they like, and that's going to be the type of players and team that they shape. Owners are going to have like importance on money. We're going to have some owners that don't care about winning because they just want marketable guys. They want the top marketable guys that is going to get them the most ticket sales, and they don't care about team success. Then you're going to have team owners who don't care about the money but just want to do whatever they can to win. You're gonna have some coaches that's gonna go for a 3-point game plan. They want perimeter guys, so they want stretch bigs. They don't want the classic big men. Then you're gonna have some teams that want classic defensive big men who play in the paint. So we bring in those different characteristics to the game, man. And the SBA is just something that you're not gonna want to miss. You guys know I am very particular with detail. You guys know I'm very consistent in my creativity, and you guys know I am quality when it comes to the work ethic, man. You've seen me grow in many different environments, and we're not going to stop here. This is the SBA, and this is my biggest project yet. I've shown you guys the consistency. I've shown you guys the effort. We're midway through the overseas tour, and we've done the college series already. and we locked in, man. SBA, we've been 2 hours live on this podcast. I'm gonna start winding down, but appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. If you have any questions left, get these last questions in. I already went over the time, but I'm not gonna go further than 2 hours and 10 minutes. So get those last questions in, guys. This has been a great, informative podcast. Um, just been a great informative podcast. My nose starting to run. I need some tissue, guys. I gotta eat. I'm hungry. But appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. 1 minute left to send questions. We still got 10 viewers live. Hit that like button if you haven't already, man. It's your boy Kamish Moolah. Let me get a hashtag our league as well before we get out of here. Jo saying, how did the first highlight video come out? It came out good. I still got some things I could tweak and let you know. I haven't been able to really even toy with it yet, bro. Because like I said, I was doing podcast stuff all day, putting the graphics in the files, making the graphics. Excuse me. This is like an everyday job, bro. I wake up, I make graphics. I gotta structure things together. So I haven't really been able to. I looked at it and it was good. It's some things that I gotta teach you to fix, but for the most part, we good, bro. We rocking. I'm gonna fix that up. I'm gonna get that out soon. We'll get more feedback from the community with those highlight videos as they come. But for now, it was good, bro. So appreciate you for that. I'm gonna let you know when I'm free for the VC, definitely. But next week, big week next week. Who wins? Select versus Milano. Who wins? But it's 210, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Hashtag our league. Appreciate you guys. We rocked out for 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's been a great podcast. We held the crowd. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram at SBA.2K. It is your boy Kamish Moolah, and we are out. Peace. Appreciate you guys, man. Hashtag our league, all that good stuff. I'm gonna be in the Discord, so you guys can hit me in the Discord if anything. You know how we rock. And thank you. Thank you to all the people who's out there watching. Thank you if you're watching this back. Appreciate you for tuning in. And appreciate you for us crossing your mind, or you just wanting to find some more information out about our league. We truly appreciate it. Hashtag our league is the slogan. We about our league here, and we are the fastest growing simulation basketball league out there. SBA, let them know what's up. I don't got no theme music yet. I usually got some theme music to go in and out. I've been getting copywritten for my last theme music, even though it's supposed to be free. Still learning the kinks of YouTube with all of that stuff. But we gonna have some music soon. But let me get out of here, guys. Appreciate you for all the love. Peace.